Hey guys, FoxCat here. I'm going to be participating this month in Inktober, which is made by artist Jake Parker. So this tutorial is going to be showing off some of my stuff from that and how I do inking my way.
Alright, so it's another Tutorial Tuesday, and this Tutorial Tuesday I'm going to be showing you how I ink a sketch in my sketchbook. So I'm going to show you paper-wise. I'm using the sophomore sketch, 100 sheets, 9 by 12, 50 pounds. I like sketchbooks the best. It's just my personal preference. Now normally when I do my inking, I use the Prismacolor, where you can read it here, not that you can see it very well, Prismacolor 0.03 fine tip marker for most of my inking. As you can tell, it's a very fine point. It's hard to see all the details here. There it is better. That's what I like to use the best. But I will also use occasionally, depending on the size of my drawing and how much detail there is, I would use the 0.01 from Prismacolor as well. Or sometimes if I want to do a lot of black, like if I'm doing coloring a marker or whatnot, I'll sometimes use a gray fine tip pen. So there's the look on that one. And since it's October, as I stated in my intro, I am doing Inktober, so I'm not even using any one of these three because they're my main drawing pens. What I'm going to be using for inking is, if I can get it here, the Prismacolor fine tip liner 0.5 for inking. It's going to make it a little bit more difficult because it's a little bit bigger, as you can tell. So I'll have that available. I'll have some sort of eraser. This one comes from the Sakura pencil eraser from the Sakura manga set. I got it on clearance because it was missing like the pencil. And so this is the eraser I'm going to be using so I don't use up my regular eraser. See, it's for pencil and paper and tracing paper, which is really nice. If you can find one that does well on tracing paper, it helps. And the other thing I like to do is, because I'm heavy-handed, I put a piece of thin cardboard underneath. Not only does it, as you can tell, take up any ink that comes through, so the paper below is not messed up, and it also stops lines from happening on the next page because I press so hard. So basically, like I said in my other video with Photoshop, I do basically the same thing. I've cut, yeah, okay, let's try that again. Okay, like I said with my Photoshop video tutorial, as you got the sketch, what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to take my fine tip marker here and I'm going to trace over my lines. And so basically, as I'm tracing over my lines, I'm just making the outlines basically permanent so that I can erase and then color what I have sketched. So basically, I'm just going to start and I'm just going to trace the lines out here. Now this will be candy corn for my Inktober project, on top of candy corn for my ever-continuing project of humanizing food and drinks. So she'll go in both. And that's basically, I'm going to continue through until I have everything basically outlined. Don't need to worry about coloring in anything because the eraser will make the lines a little lighter, and you don't necessarily want that. And remember to give it a little bit of time to dry because you will smudge it otherwise, and I've ruined many pieces not waiting to erase and wanting to get going with the project. So I will see you when I'm ready to do erasing. Okay, so we're all inked up now. We all inked up and dried. As you can tell, nothing's coming off, and it's not smearing as I'm rubbing it. Let's take our handy dandy eraser and we get to erase. Fun. Slow and steady wins the race here. Don't go fast, otherwise you're going to have a ruined piece, especially if you don't have a camera holding it down. So basically, you just go in and you just erase. erase all of the lines, and in my case, all of the smudging of the stuff, of the graphite. Sorry, can't talk today. And you just go, keep erasing until you get all of it. You might smudge a little bit, depending on how hard you erase. Just go and erase everything. Feel free to brush it off. Feel free to blow at it, but swallow your spit beforehand because you don't want little water spots and it could mess up your ink. Okay, keep erasing until it's all erased. Slow and steady. Here we are, all erased, as you can tell. All erased in her beautifulness. So I'm going to zoom in here on her face. And using the same marker, or bigger if you want. You've got 0.8s, 0.6s, 0.7, 0.7s rather. That you can do. All of those have zeros. But I'm going to use 0.5 for time here, at least right here on her eyes. So I'm just going to go in and kind of fill in her top eyelid because I want it to be black. Kind of fixing the shape of it and everything if I got it a little off. And you just fill in the areas you want to be black in your drawing. Ta-da! And we come over here. I'm using weird angle so you get the best view possible, of course. And fill in this one. Like that. Let it a little bit to dry. And then I can, at least on the left eye here, you just kind of come in and go around the eye so that you can fill it in. Fill in small parts. You can do it long lines across. You can do it swirly. You can take a big marker and just blob it in like blah. And 1 line down, 1 to go. This is usually where I turn the sketchbook around so I can reach the other eye, but trying to give you the best view, I have to wait till the eye dries. I am a sketchbook turner. I turn my sketchbook all around when I'm drawing. So let's fill in this eye here. And there we go. I'm gonna go let that dry and go get the rest of my inking materials to color this. Alright, so now we'll get on to coloring. So I'm going to be using a mixture here of colors. Well, coloring utensils. So I got my color from here, markers, double-ended, where one end's a fat side and you got a thin. And so I'm going to be using those along with big marker, permanent marking markers. I like these a little bit better than Sharpies because they don't have quite a stench to them. And then I've got the Stedler, however you pronounce it, Triple S fine liners. So I think that's mostly what I'm going to be using to do this. So let's get started here. I'm going to turn the camera a little bit so you can see this a little bit better. I'm going to start here, just giving you some ideas of how I do things. And so we're doing candy corn. There's candy corn. Yellow, orange, white. Yellow, orange, white. Yellow, orange, white. And basically, with the small one, just gonna outline, and these are really good for details, as you can tell, small areas, and you just kind of color it in. Get our little toesies there for tights. And that's basically how I do that. And I'm going to keep going. Yellow, orange, white. I gotta remember that. I should know that. But you know, like pumpkin spice, everything, candy corn only comes out around October. And it's quickly gone by Halloween. Comes and goes, so. And with any of these, you want to give it a minute to dry. Unless you're just hurting for smudging and messing up. There we go. Good. And that's basically how I do my fine liners. Okay, now for doing the permanent marker. I always work this way, so right to left. Raise. And what I basically do is I do a little bit of an outline. Or I outline rather, not a little bit, but I'll outline it. Just gonna do a little bit just to show you. So come around and outline. And then I just color it in with a lighter touch. So I don't get too many streak marks and whatnot. And I keep going until I have that color finished. And that's the coloring for the permanent markers. Sometimes with a big area, I will do it more on the side of the tip, like that. Moving the camera on up, I'll show you how I color with the Prismacolors now. Now, there's one or two ways I can do it. Sometimes, if it's a small area, I'll use this for like in here by her strap in her dress. Main bust of her dress, and get in and get those little areas. Or they're hard to open sometimes. You use this part. Here's what the wedged larger edge looks like, and I just basically very carefully go down the edge of it with this one across. And then color in. Lining and coloring. And that's how I color with Prismacolors. So that's how my marker technique. I don't do anything fancy with them. I'm not comfortable with my skills yet, but I do a pretty decent job for markering compared to what it used to be as a kid when we scribbled with our markers. And I'll move up here and do the eye and show you kind of how I do the eye. Kind of going around the eye and just kind of go around, feathering it in and around. And then kind of continue the edge up a little bit. This part's a little harder, but something like that would probably how I would do it. And there we go. If you want to see her fully colored, you can follow me on Facebook, where I will be posting all my Inktober games. And later, at the end of the month, I will be doing a reveal movie, basically, of all my Inktober. So look forward to seeing that. And FoxCat you later.